I recognize the honourable member from Edmonton Strathcona.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, while we appreciate that you have acknowledged and ruled that the Leader of the Opposition was out of order last Thursday, we are confused by the mixed messaging that you've sent to this House. The member was out of order and yet has still been allowed to participate in debate, and today have 5 questions in question period. The regular practice is that a member isn't recognized to speak until they have withdrawn, and that is not being applied, and we have some concerns about the mixed messages. I'd also like to remind the Speaker of the very serious matter that was raised yesterday regarding the member for Fort Saskatchewan Sherwood Park. We are still waiting for him to withdraw and apologize for his homophobic and disgusting comment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Is Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan. My mistake is rising on a point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to say briefly that, as members know, the NDP whip in particular has a history of making false and defamatory comments about me, and this is no exception. It's very clear.
Colleagues, if you please can keep your comments to yourself so that the chair can listen to this point of order being raised by the member from Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan, who was referenced in some other point of orders. I think it is fair to allow him to raise his point of order uninterrupted to the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There was an exchange yesterday in question period about extravagant spending by the government. $9 million spent on a luxury condo on Billionaires Row. Now, the Leader of the Opposition asked a question.
Speaker, I can't hear him. I can't hear him. I'm right beside him. I can't hear him.
False and defamatory comments have been made about me. If members want to hear a response, I'll provide a response. The Leader of the Opposition pointed out $9 million spent on this extravagant condo and identified a number of luxury features associated with that condo, including an extremely luxurious bathtub. Following that, the Prime Minister made no comment whatsoever about those features. Instead, the Prime Minister spoke about the kinds of international engagement that the government does. And as the Hansard clearly...
So, colleagues, I'm going to ask the honourable member, please, if I'm going to ask... I'm going to ask the honourable member, please, to get to his point, because it's very important that we try to get to the point so that it's not perceived as engaging in debate. I'm trying to making sure.
Mr. Speaker, false and defamatory comments have been made about me. Yep. I'm providing a response, and hopefully members will benefit from reviewing the context of what happened. Yep. $9 million were spent on a luxury condo on Billionaires Row in New York. In a question from the Leader of the Opposition, various luxury...
Okay, colleagues, if the member has been... Colleagues. So I'm going to invite the honourable member from Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan. He was almost there. I'd ask him, please, just immediately get to the point so that we can address the allegations which were made against the honourable member, and then we can move on in the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And we've heard a few words said in this House about bullying. I'm trying to provide an explanation with context and to answer false allegations that have been made against me, and I will persist in doing that. So following questions from the Leader of the Opposition about a $9 million luxury condo purchased by the government, and in particular identifying among the features of that condo a luxury bathtub, the Prime Minister ignored reference to those features and instead spoke about the engagement done by the government internationally. Right. And the Hansard shows the exchange.
I will comment on one spectacular social housing project of his, and that is the brand new lavish apartment that he bought his friend, the new Consul General to New York. $9 million for his friend Tom Clark to have stunning powder room finished in jewel onyx, crystallo gold quartzite countertops, a handcrafted copper soaking tub, custom bronze bathroom fixtures, $5,000 coffee machine. Did the Prime Minister go and inspect this palace in the sky on his recent trip to New York?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, engaging with international leaders on fighting climate change, on solving global crises, on standing up unequivocally for Ukraine.
Colleagues, just as I said before, just as I said earlier, I would ask all members to please not take the floor unless they're recognized by the Speaker so that we can hear the questions and we can hear the answers. The Right Honourable Prime Minister from the top, please.
Mr. Speaker, don't worry, on this side of the House, we're used to casual homophobic comments from the other side of the House. Mr. Speaker, what is it about the... Mr. Speaker, standing up to bullies requires us to call them out on their crap sometimes, and that's what I will do. Mr. Speaker, I will happily withdraw my comment if the member who suggested that I was sharing a bathtub with Tom Clark stands up, takes responsibility for his...
As I had indicated to all colleagues here, I was not able to hear or track the source of that statement. And I'm just asking the Prime Minister to be the better person and to please just withdraw the comment and start his question again. The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I withdraw the comment about defecating. I certainly, using the word crap, I shouldn't use that. I know crap is unparliamentary, but I will also, Mr. Speaker, when someone says something that is clearly homophobic, not them, I'm not accusing them of homophobia, I'm saying they made a homophobic...
Many of the comments about made on Twitter about what was allegedly said don't reflect what's in the Hansard. The Hansard notes, does he engage with them in the bathtub? The point of that comment is to illustrate that, of course, meetings don't take place in a bathtub. A luxurious bathtub has nothing to do with meetings. The Prime Minister's answer had nothing to do with the questions, but it had nothing to do with sex. I wasn't thinking about sex at all. Never mind.
The honourable member from Timmins James Bay is rising on a point of order.
Speaker, I'll keep my remarks to a minute. I hope you'll let me finish. TA, we saw the tape. I've listened to the tape. What we didn't hear was an apology. So I just want to understand that the Speaker is saying that a Conservative member can make a homosexual slur against the Prime Minister of the country and it's okay and he can defend himself for good 10 minutes speaking. Is that the standard that we have in the House? We would like to know that that's the standard that this Speaker is bringing, because it very much clarifies where we go from here.
The honourable, on point of order, I see that the honourable member from Don Valley West is rising. I hope this will be I hope that this will be germane to the issue at hand, and then the chair will go back and consider this and come back to the House if necessary. The honourable member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yesterday, a point of order was raised. And I'm a little confused. So it's a true point of order because the member from Edmonton-Strathcona has raised essentially a new point of order, but referred to yesterday's point of order. However, to be victimized once in this House is sufficient. To be re-victimized again by someone pretending, and we all heard it, and it is in Hansard, what was said, it is a homophobic slur. There were two of them, and they were both absolutely personal. And if the Consul General in New York were a woman, if she was treated that way in this House would be outraged.
Right on.
Every member of this House should be outraged because it was a homophobic slur, and I want you to take it into consideration.
Right on. Right on. I'm just going to...
So, colleagues, I think this is, I appreciate the points of view raised by the members. I appreciate the honourable member from getting up and offering his perspective. The chair is going to obviously take this matter under advisement, but I will just say this, which I think is really important, is how it is very necessary that when members are not, one of the best ways to avoid these kind of situations is to making sure that members don't speak out of turn. And then that way, we don't have a situation where there is different interpretations as to what was said. I thank all honourable members for rising on this issue. The chair will